and wants to overregulate and tax your fucking life, and wants Elon Musk dead, basically, and the other side wants lower taxes, and they want to own guns, and they want the government to leave them alone.
And they
fuck
want
you.
police on the streets.
Yes, fuck you with all this shit, and I don't want my kid getting trans, and I don't want trans story hour at the local library.
Now, this is why Democrats and liberals are lying all the time about what Trump thinks, about Republicans think. This is why the prominent figures in liberal podcasts will lie and say they're fascists or they're white supremacists, because if they actually told the truth, regular Americans would be like, I actually agree with all that. That's why Trump won in 2024.
No, one side is not clinically insane. Right. They have their foibles. You may disagree with Iran or certain policies or foreign policy, but they're not batshit fucking crazy and ruining everything at the same time. The right did not ruin Los Angeles and California. The right didn't ruin Seattle. It didn't ruin Chicago. It didn't ruin Portland. The right didn't ruin anything. The left ruined shit. So stop being so magnanimous. I'm against all. Defund the police is a shit idea that gets people killed. Fund the police is a good idea that saves more lives. Defund, abolish ICE is a fat shit crazy idea too. And rounding up criminal felons is a good idea. So fuck off.
Absolutely amazing, expletive-filled rant from our friend Adam Carolla. Been a fan of this man my whole life. Adam, hitting up the park. You know, I like Bill Maher too. I do. There was a period where I was going to Bill Maher because he deserved to be criticized. It was fine. I love telling him this because he's like, well, you're not wrong. And that's what Bill's great. Bill is a reasonable guy, but he's a liberal guy. And, I actually told him this. I said, if the Democratic Party listened to you, they'd be winning elections. And he said, I wish they could realize, like, someone can tell them this. It's true. Bill Maher doesn't like Trump. Bill Maher wants to vote for Democrats, but he agrees on the trans kids things. He agrees on the Islam stuff. He is a liberal, and you probably don't agree with him. But he had this period, I think a lot of people did in 2010, where what was happening is these libs, they didn't know what was going on. And those of us that pay attention to the news that were tuned in to cultural shifts in the news were saying something like, did you see that Democrats want to give sex changes to children? And they go, that's not true. You made that up. There's a really great video with Billboard Chris, if you have to go to Billboard Chris. And they're talking to this guy in the street, and he's holding a sign saying, you know, good father protects their kids. The Billboard says 40 years. The dude comes up and he goes, they're not giving trans kids surgery. And then Billboard Chris is like, wait, hold on, here. And I can't remember who he's with, but it might have been James Blue. They played a video for the guy showing a children's hospital talking about giving surgeries to prepubescent girls. And the guy looks at it and goes, well, if they are, it's a good thing. And it's like, that's exactly it. These people are cultists. They don't have original thought in their body when they're scared to express it. But take a look at this, because I brought receipts. Mental illness diagnosis by political leaning. Percentage of U.S. adults who have received a professional diagnosis of mental illness. 48% of very liberal, 40% of liberal, 29% moderate centrist, 22% conservative, 16% very conservative. Interesting. It says the rate decreases as political leaning shifts from very liberal to very conservative. How about them apples? I wonder why. Well, there's a couple arguments that are made in this capacity, but I do have all of the sources included in this graphic that I had my friends over at Artificial Intelligence whip up for us. One argument that the left likes to make is that
son, lonely traveler, ain't trying to rowdy up, but if you're feeling too dog, I want the all challenges. Ain't got no family, you see this one of me, might lose your post standing 2 feet in front of me. I'm pissed at the world, but I ain't looking for trouble. I might crack a grin, I ain't looking to hug you, think about it. Nobody wants to die, there's rule to this game, son. I'm justified, I'm ready to go, partner. Hey, I'm on the run, the devil's hugging on my boots, that's why I own a gun. This journey's too long, I'm looking for some answers. So much time stressing, I forget the questions. I fear no man, you don't want no problems. Be eyes in the back of my head, you better not follow me. On this lonely road, trying to make it home. Doing it by my own, so pissed off for my soul. I'm fighting for my soul, gotta get you boy. You try to go fall back, I go hard. On this lonely road, trying to make it home. Doing it by my own, so pissed off for my soul. Got some new screws, but that's alright though. I'ma do me, you do you. So how you judging me? I'm just trying to survive, and if the time comes, I ain't trying to die. I'm just trying to fly and get a little love. Find me a dime piece and get a little hug. Hook the car up, hit the bar up, clean the stars up. Hey yo, the stars up. Hey, this is the life of an outlaw. We ain't promised tomorrow. I'm living down, dog. I'm walking through life, but yo, my feet hurt. All my blessings are fed, man, I rest when I'm dead. Look through my eyes and see the real world. Take a walk with me, have a talk with me. Where we end up, God only knows. Strap your boots on tight, you might be alright. On this lonely road, trying to make it home. Doing it by my own. lost, so pissed off, lost soul. I'm fighting for my soul. God damn you, boy. You trying to go God, fall back. I go hard on this lonely road, trying to make it home. Doing it all my own, so pissed off, lost soul. I see them long times to come. Pissed off, lost soul. I'm fighting for my soul. God damn you, boy. You trying to go God, fall back. I go hard on this lonely road, trying to make it home. Doing it by my lonesome, pissed off, lost soul. I see them long times to come. Single solitary drop, no relent from the thirst of the drought. So parched till your skin starts to crack on your mouth. Sun beating on your neck, not a shadow of a doubt. I know there used to be fish here, not somewhere at the source, none of the water seems to get here. The rainy season missed this year, every drop into a drum with the overbearing fear. When the riverbed is barren, dust devils start to fly. Look up, it's not a solitary cloud in the sky. Sun gleaming till you need to seek protection for your eyes. The livestock sick, the crops start to die. Wildfires breaking, there's no water to extinguish. Taking all the strength that we possess not to relinquish. The people reach up to the divine with their hands. What was life-giving waters now lying in the sand. By the river, but the river ran dry. Lord knows there's a reason why. Look up, now the cloud in the sky. Down by the river, but the river ran dry.
After an investigation revealed he had allegedly stolen more than $500,000 from his elderly great aunt while acting as her financial power of attorney.
So, you mean I called you? I have. No, okay. So we were called regarding Marjorie's estate. We were contacted. They were, kind of concerned about how the funds were being used, where the funds were going, and stuff like that. So that's the reason I'm calling in. Okay, to kind of, I guess, figure out what's going on with the what would cause them to, be concerned, fill in some of the gaps, I guess. Well, I guess my main question is where's a large amount of money? Because I was advised that the accounts were roughly about $225,000 in the end of September, and now they're in the teens.
I'm not sure. I'd have to look at all of it. I'm not sure exactly what accounts you're referring to. She's got a checking account, 2 savings accounts, and then she and I have our own savings accounts.
Okay.
The money that was in my savings account with her is money she gave me before she went in the nursing home. Way back when I never had a savings account. She's the one that actually opened it for me with money.
Okay. Investigators were looking into a dramatic decline in the elderly woman's finances. Records showed accounts that once contained substantial funds had been reduced to a fraction of their previous balance.
As for her checking account, savings account, again, I don't have it all memorized, but it's all documented. It's all there now. There was some questions about some of it. There were some mistakes made. We spoke to her attorney. The attorney advised us to create a new account, and we did at Huntington. We put the money back in it. I don't remember the total, but we could get it if we had to. But she has another account opened up at Huntington with the amount of money that there was questioning about.
Okay. When was that opened?
Over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. Who, I guess, brought up the...
So I don't know how much I can... I'm just being 100% honest. I don't know how much I can speak without the attorney, because I don't have an attorney.
Okay.
It's her attorney, my aunt's attorney, that I've been speaking with. He's well aware of all the situation.
Okay.
So is my aunt. I spoke to my aunt. I'm very, very, very close to my aunt.
Okay.
I told her everything.
That attorney established the initial power of attorney that he's been operating under to to do things for her.
Okay.
And everything has been done in cooperation
With the
her
attorney.
a long time.
With my aunt's attorney, not my attorney. He's not my attorney. He's her attorney.
Okay.
But Chase had called me and wanted to know about some transfers. I said these were mistake transfers. These should have never happened. Should have come from my savings account to my checking account, but I did most of it through the app, and it must have been mistakes. They gave us a list of the questions that they had. We totaled it up. The attorney says, "Can you repay that back?" I said, "Absolutely." He says, "Then open an account separate, put it in there." So I opened her account under her name, nobody else's name's on it but hers, and we put the money back that this thing totaled up. So she has it in Huntington Bank with the amount totaled up.
The suspect acknowledged that certain transactions had been questioned. However, he maintained that any improper transfers were mistakes and claimed the money had already been repaid.
I just texted her, sent the notice to the attorney this morning that had been completed because the credit union told us that we should do more than 10,000 per month, so we did like 9,000 last month. And as soon as
That's not, we don't.
well, anyway, it's both been transferred, so it's official that it's done. And I spoke to her. I didn't speak to the attorney. I wrote an email to the attorney today, which we'll have a meeting sometime to discuss the next procedure, whatever it has to be.
Okay. And is this one over here? Or
Yeah.
Okay. You said that was roughly about 2 weeks ago, or 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Until we opened it?
No.
Yeah, roughly that time. I don't have the
We could
exact.
provide the date.
Okay.
We don't have it.
I could probably look at an email or something.
When did the funds go into the account?
We did $1, 24 hours to make sure the transfer would work. There was a delay from the credit union to Huntington. I think it took like maybe 4 days. No, it wasn't instant. Then we did another transfer that was again took like 24 hours, and then my wife would go to the credit union and take out actual cash and then deposit the cash into Huntington through a deposit slip. So the final transfer was yesterday. Like I said, I emailed the attorney today saying that it was complete. And he had recommended we go to KeyBank. I walked into KeyBank, I gave them the power of attorney and said we wanted to open an account for my aunt. They kept it for about a week and a half. Called back and said because she didn't have an account there, they would not let us open an account there. I let the attorney know that. He thought it was garbage, that they were turning business away. He told me to try Huntington, and we did it online in Huntington. We set it up.
Okay.
And I almost called him on the way here because I've never had to do anything like this, so I don't.
And he's not your attorney.
He's not my attorney. He's made it clear that he's not representing me in anything. That he's here for Marjorie Fernie.
Okay.
Which is why I went to him. You tell me what I need to do to make this right or whatever I got to do.
Okay.
And so I've been talking with him. I've never gotten an attorney to discuss anything with me because he made me feel like as long as we're making everything right, we should be okay. So.
And everything that's happened along the way, you too have done that. You have worked in.
Yes, I've never done anything without him being advising what's the proper procedure to do and what rules I have or allowed to do or not to do.
Throughout the interview, the suspect repeatedly stated that he was acting under the guidance of attorneys and financial institutions while managing his aunt's affairs.
I know we probably have an idea who filed the complaint. I don't know if this is, but we probably know who did it. And I'm not sure what started everything. I'm talking out. I don't know. But anyway, I know this much. I'm the only one that takes care of my aunt. I'm up there every week. I just took her to the dentist yesterday, and I was texting my wife. I'm holding her hand while she's getting shots in her mouth. She's got 4 teeth left, and one's rotten away. She's coming over to our house Saturday for 4th of July. She and I had an agreement, things that we discussed prior to her even going to nursing home, and I've kept that promise. Her house. She didn't want to sell the house, and I've been taking care of the house. So a lot of these questions that people want to know where the money went, a lot of it is that she still has a house. She's paying electric, phone, insurance. She has septic that has to be inspected every so often. She's one of the people that's always taking care of her yard, still taking care of her yard. So there's additional expenses that come out on top of just the nursing home. And then there's prescription. One of the things that Chase questioned me was the credit card. We said that the internet, they never had the internet. She's 95 years old, she never had the internet. We were required to put security cameras up because the house is unoccupied, so the insurance company wanted security cameras. So I signed up for Spectrum. It's in my name. That's a violation according to Chase. Because it's in my name, not her name. I never thought to put it in her name. I just got her internet.
Just for a minute, pretend that this is a righteous arrest, and this was actually the plan. You're telling me that these guys had so poor operational security that they were sending photographs of themselves with their IDs in chats to each other to prove just how down for the fight they were, and then the one guy tells his mommy, and the plan is that they're going to fly drones over the White House, which commercial drones have a block on that. You can't fly a commercial drone over that. It's not just it's against the law. It won't physically do it, and they're going to get explosives. No further information. We don't know if they're going to make the explosives. We don't know if they're going to acquire the explosives. And then when they flood out 4,000 people off the White House grounds, then a predetermined sniper nest will begin shooting high-value targets, which in the midst of 4,000 people, they'll be able to pick out no problem at all. And the hope is that this is going to cause a violent overthrow of the United States government. That's retarded.
I mean, do you think that these people, will any of this stuff stick? I mean, because it sounds retarded even just speaking it out loud. I mean, this actually goes towards a hearing. Will any of this stick, do you think?
I think it will, and that's just been my experience in reading about all the different terrorism arrests that the FBI puts out. And I haven't even dug into if there's any sort of confidential human sources undercovers with this one, but what typically happens, because of the way the justice system works, because of the way the DOJ construes national security, you are always guilty. The entire concept that you're innocent until proven guilty is turned 180 degrees when it comes to terrorism and national security. The presupposition is that you were always guilty, and the you weren't entrapped. You were always going to do the thing that the confidential human source groomed you and convinced you to do over the course of 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And that undercover employee, even though he spelled out the entire plan for you and gave you all the tools in order to do it, that was always your intention to do. And they will make that argument in front of a jury, and the juries will always lean back on 9/11, national security. They won't use the critical thinking, and a lot of the times what winds up happening is these guys just plead guilty because they see that it is not a winnable fight for them. Their attorneys will not even be able to present an entrapment argument, which is why the Michigan Fednapping case was so unique, because the judge actually in those cases for some of the defendants did allow an entrapment defense, and they successfully argued it.
Wow, I was going to ask you, like, through discovery, can the defense do anything here to find out about the confidential informants on this? Will they be able to present that evidence in front of a jury? And I guess the second question is, it all is so convenient, right? There's always, like, Trump is in the crosshairs. There's always this big plot to take him down right before some big announcement. And, you know, we have to rally. Fox News goes wall-to-wall coverage with this massive plot, another assassination attempt against President Trump. It all seems very fishy to me.
And perfectly and serendipitously timed with the end of FISA 702, or as it's being advertised, that FISA was not renewed, and then this is the greatest tool that we have, the ability to spy on the American people without a warrant. That's effectively what it is. And that expired on Friday. Well, newsflash, it's not expired. It was renewed in March of this year. It's a 12-month renewal, which means this tool is still at the fingertips of the FBI in order to spy on the American people without a warrant. But we're getting from the politicos out there and from people within national security and from law enforcement saying that this tool is no longer available, and we're going to need it if we're going to stop these sorts of violent actions in the future. We got in just under the wire because we foiled this attack just before FISA expired.
Right. Yeah, it's so convenient. That's why we need this surveillance state. That's why we need to be able to snoop on Americans using this foreign surveillance carve-out. Exactly. Steve, just so infuriating. I guess maybe final thought is that defense. Will the defense be able to pull out, as part of discovery, confidential human sources from the FBI if they were involved in this? Would that be presented? Would a jury even hear that?
Yes, that would be part of discovery, and typically within a charging document that will have to be documented. The FBI does everything it possibly can to protect the identities of confidential human sources here, but that will have to be fleshed out. Ultimately, though, it rests with the judge as far as how much you're able to present in front of a jury. We saw no worse example of that than with all the January 6th prosecutions that went on there, and they were unable to get access to who informants might have been there. So there is a lot of gamesmanship that does happen here, and I think that's also why we see a lot of very beneficial plea deals offered to many of these defendants because the government just doesn't want to give away its tools.
Philip, here's a comment for one of our viewers here for Steve. Here's Rogers Rangers. Put this up on the screen. Great guest, redacted. Yes, Steve Friend is a great guest. Steve, great to see you. Thank you for your...
Thank you.
I had no idea your connection to the Gretchen Whitmer story. I just threw that out there as a memory. Yeah, I was on that game. That's great.
Right.
Awesome. Steve, thank you so much for your insights on this. Really appreciate it.
You got it. Great. Have a great day.
He brought the energy to that one. I really appreciate it because, you know, the rest of us can read this and be like, well,
no, I mean,
don't
think
know.
about the FISA. I mean, that's at the heart of it. It's so convenient, right? As you know, to be able to push that on the American people. See, here's a reason President Trump and all these people at the 250th UFC celebration at the White House could have been blown up if we didn't use the FISA carve-out tool to go after these individuals.
Yeah, great point. Fantastic. All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the peace deal and what that means for Lebanon because, again, Iran continues to insist that Israel withdraw from Lebanon, stop attacking Lebanon if this peace deal holds. Will that, in fact, happen? Because Israel attacked Lebanon today, in fact. So we're going to talk about a guest who's been there, who's been covering this from the ground. Before we do that, though, we want to tell you that this episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack, hydration, and coffee sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars and hydration mixes and mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel that you need to win your day. One thing that I like about them is that they are built around clean ingredients. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified, free from gluten, dairy, soy.
And she says, use the money to get cement done. Use your money. I told you I gave you that money. That was it. So there was, I think, like 2 late game or 2. I can't think of the other one.
Was it trans-American or something like that?
I don't remember. I apologize. I don't remember. But that's what that was. And we left it there until we needed it. Then I would take it out. And then when we needed it, we would take it out. So that funded that account was both. There was my grandma passed away, so I put money in that account from that.
What's
there
a
was
trans
$5,000.
account?
She says, I'll give you those if you do what you
A
want to do.
trans-American
And
account?
that's what we did. I never did anything that was not already discussed with her. I know
Like
it was my work versus
offshore,
everybody else's
or-
work, but that's the account. My grandmother knew it. She's passed away now.
I don't
my
know.
sister. But
I have no
my aunt
idea.
told me not to tell a single soul that she gave me that money. But I told my grandmother because I was close. I told my grandmother everything. She knew it, and she said the same thing. She said, keep that to yourself. So nobody knew exactly how much money she gave me. She gave me money, and she told me that that was for taking care of her, and then she knew that I'd be there forever until she needed something, or that it was for me to take care of her with. And I've done that, and I've done everything that's ever been asked of me through her, all her appointments, all her hospital visits. Again, you ask anybody at the nursing home, I'm the only one she talks about. She says that she when I told her that this was going on, she cried. She said, I'm afraid I'm going to lose you. I am the most trustworthy person. I would not do anything.
Susan Collins supported Trump's Medicaid cuts. Healthcare's getting even more expensive. People are losing coverage. But Susan Collins gave Trump a blank check for his war in Iran. Tell Susan Collins to stop siding with Donald Trump.
What's up, everyone? We're here to check in on Jackson and Graham as they ideate for the Ultimate 4 battle video with the help of Adobe Firefly. Jackson's putting up the pictures for our mood board right now. All right, done. It's kind of hard to see on the whiteboard. We should make a mood board using Adobe Firefly. Isn't that insane? It's gonna look so good in the room. This looks so much better than I could have drawn it out. It's definitely better than when you were just using a whiteboard. This mood board is us. We are the mood. Hold up, wait, that's kind of tough. Make sure to check out Adobe Firefly to learn more.
Have you seen anybody going in and out of the house? How long have you been over here?
I've been ordered by officers. That's how I'm seeing you right now. I'm just ordered by officers.
Is it white SUV in the driveway?
Yes, like you did. No, I see you right now. You're right in front of the house.
I'm homeless, and I live in my car.
Who lives here?
I don't know. That's what I talked to the guy. He said that no one's been living here in the past 3 years or so. I don't want to get choked because I'm trying to live on the beach. I actually just got a job down here at the Mikey Valley. You know that little parking spot right here? Down the Mikey or something. It's like, I don't know. Yes, so I just got a job there. I started this Saturday. So I'm trying. You know what I mean? And I'm living in my car. I'm not trespassing. They said, oh, they're doing trespassing. I don't need to go in there for no reason. All my life is in this car.
Well, I mean, if you're not supposed to be here, you can't stay here. Do you have ID with you?
Yeah, I mean, the guy said it was okay, but again, like, no one lives here, so technically it doesn't actually belong to whoever you're
No, I get what you're saying. But if there's a no trespassing sign, that means the whole entire property.
Hey, let's go read it first.
How you doing? Come on, hey. Step over here. I don't know why you stepped in that car. I don't know who you are. I know we're here. Over here. What is your name?
That's my phone, though.
Okay, what is your name?
Chase.
Okay, Chase, listen to me. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can't be used against you in court. You have the right to talk to a lawyer. Listen now. You have any questions? You have the lawyer present. Hey! Come running. White tail, blue shirt, blue shorts, jump out. Hold on, we get the truck. Running back towards A1A. Through the truck's parking line. Casino's on A1A. White shorts, blue shirt, picking up, westbound from the church. You have to make jump back. Hey, where'd you see a guy run at? Where'd you see him? Huh? Where'd you lose him at? He went this way, I lost him. Where'd you last see him at? When he turned left, come around this side of the church.
Sentry, ready for a permit? I need units on Van Avenue, Peninsula, Atlantic, and Carolyn Terrace. Somebody get to Carolyn first. That's where his vehicle is, in case he doubles back.
Row 13 is going to be with the vehicle. About 10 feet on the shoreline.
Yeah, that's why I said Melendez has got in the car.
Do you live
Okay. How long has his car been parked there? Do you know?
So the car's been there maybe later Saturday. I left it by Saturday. And when I came on Sunday, it was there. And then when I came home today, there was somebody standing there on the porch. And she,
On the porch, not inside?
no, not inside. I
Okay.
don't think anybody's been. I don't know if it was a woman or a man, but they saw hello.
Was that today?
Yes, when I came home up for work.
I just wanted to confirm that he didn't enter inside the house.
As far as I know.
Okay.
I mean, are you guys comfortable doing out there to snatch him? All right, if you guys are comfortable. He's a bombing dog, so. Do they have a board? Y'all have a board? Oh, they got it.
I lost the visual on him. There he is. He's flashing right there. See him right there? Just to the right of the green? That's it. Yeah.
No, one of our guys used to be a lifeguard at one of the shores. Paramedics used to be a lifeguard, so they're going to get him. So this is him getting a drunk going on.
Center, we have one SO and one shores in the water. They run like the wind blows. We're like, holy shit. They run like the wind blows.
I can't swim very good.
You must be Dave. Which house did you see him in? I saw him going from the corner there. Got to the back. Not in the house, though. Not in the house. Okay, but he was around the house. He was going through that busted gate. Okay. I yelled at him. Spun around and he just, wow, I'm not doing that wrong. Gotcha. Okay.
Oh,
Gotcha.
I saw him on the porch when I came home today.
But he never actually went inside the house. He was just walking between the houses.
I got Stan, one of the guards went out on paddle boards to go grab him. If he's combative, I got a boat coming up.
These attacks, I think history tells us, no, the United States is almost incapable of saying no to Israel. But then you cannot forget that in this particular case, is Iran that is also presenting themselves as the guarantor of this particular clause. They have
about the oyster man.
in terms, we will attack you, we will respond in kind if you continue to violate what we have agreed to be a ceasefire in the south of Lebanon. Now, the attacks in Lebanon continue, the attacks in the south in particular continue. Now, the Iranians are showing restraint in not responding yet, right? It also shows that the Iranian government actually wants to go through with this MOU and actually wants to put an end to this war. But I think if the Israelis continue to play spoiler, the table's going to get kicked over and you're going to see Iran launch attacks against Israel. And then the question becomes, will the U.S. step in, or will the U.S. do what it did last year with Yemen? Because last year, Donald Trump essentially told Israel, you're wrong with Yemen. They reached an agreement directly with the Yemeni government in Sana'a, and that did not include Israel for a cessation of hostilities. So then Israel had to deal with the Yemenis on their own. Will they do the same with Iran? Knowing full well that Iran is a completely different beast, and also Iran has almost no appetite at this point to withstand the violations of the Israelis. They want to teach the Israelis a lesson. They want to punish them for their multitude of crimes.
Well, there's a question of financial incentives here too, which if we go around to the other side, so Iran, it seems to have brokered a very favorable deal to themselves, and they will have relief of sanctions. They will have some incoming cash flow that they need for their people. Once that money starts to flow, are they going to be willing to stop that in order to protect Lebanon? We don't know how motivated they will be once they start to gain more power. And I don't really know the answer to this because they didn't do this for Gaza. And so are they, I'm just curious, like how will this stick in place? Will they be willing to risk the money?
Because we're not.
I think, well, the Iranians, first of all, you're not wrong about what you're saying about Gaza in particular. The Iranians themselves have said the situation in Gaza, it's much more complicated for us to bring it to the table as opposed to Lebanon, which Lebanon, a UN member state, a country which recognizes borders that doesn't really face, didn't really face an occupation until a few months ago, that it's a different beast, right, Lebanon, to the situation in Gaza. That's what the Iranians have said. As far as the financial incentives, it's a really tough balancing act, honestly, for the Iranian government. Because on one hand, you have exactly what you're saying, right? They are getting some money. Will they jeopardize that? But on the other hand, you also have the popular support, not just for Hezbollah, but for Lebanon as a whole, for their allies in Lebanon. And the people in Iran were already protesting the existence of this MOU, which, among other things, it shows that in Iran you can have political disagreements and you can express those disagreements on the street. The government didn't react to those protests, they let them happen, right? People went out, they protested. So if we internally, if the Iranian government is seen as abandoning their allies in Lebanon, that is not going to go very well for the government of Masoud Pezeshkian. And it's not going to go very well also for the new leader, Mojtaba Khamenei. They need to balance this, right? And at the end of the day, there's a very interesting fault here that is also something that is very obvious, and is Iran can at any point close the Strait of Hormuz again. And this is according to U.S. intelligence reports. There's absolutely nothing that the U.S. or anyone in the region can do to stop the Iranians for once again shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. And Donald Trump just today said, if we hadn't done this deal in a couple of weeks, we would have had a massive crisis in regards to energy supplies. So the Iranians have also some cards left to play, and they have shown willingness to harden their stance. So I do think that if Israel continues to play spoiler, we're going to go back exactly to where we were a few weeks ago, which is all-out war. But the question that remains is, will the United States join and actually falls on the lap of the United States to stop their Israeli allies? Because it is the US that gives the Israelis the bombs they use to conduct the genocide of their ethnic cleansing campaign. It's the US that gives them the money and the diplomatic coverage. The moment if Donald Trump were willing to start dislodging all of these benefits that they give to the Israelis, then all of a sudden the Israelis would have no other option but to slow down their campaign of killing in the south of Lebanon, not just because it's going to become detrimental to them, but also because they're not going to have the weapons necessary to continue.
You try to go to great point. President Trump earlier today, the word that he used was badly. You don't look like Graham Flatner. They're going to be mean to you. If the street remain closed for a few more firearms, no other place in that word. So you're right. Iran does hold the cards. It's hard not to mean. I don't want to look at this like a World Cup match. Like they won, they lost. Yeah, I'll say. But it's hard not to. Totally legitimate. They want to have gun clubs. Fine. Do far less politics. Fine. But you can't also you guys have massive laws, sanctions, paramilitary unrestricted Iranian funds, assets fully available to use. It will be monitored by the United Nations. The law hinges on the U.S. and Iran will establish an executive mechanism civil unrest, implementation of crime, and so any sorts of violations want to use the fire side will be monitored in civil time. And the U.S. Treasury Commission posting about controlling them again, making all these see in simple terms like a football match, but the streets, we're gonna take power, and you're passing out pamphlets about defeating law enforcement.
Completely. I think at this point it's just everyone can agree on this. That as you're saying, right? In the war, there's not often clear winners and losers. I think in this case, there is. I mean, today, Foreign Policy Magazine published an article saying the deal with Iran is a worse defeat than the war in Vietnam. In the imaginary of the people in the U.S., the war in Vietnam is exemplary, right? Of overreach, military overreach, of just how badly it can go, despite the strength that the U.S. military may have. Well, Iran all of a sudden became an even worse example of the same excellence, right? And yes, Iran is walking away with sanctions relief, with recognition of their sovereignty over Hormuz, with the frozen funds released. As soon as the MOU is signed, they can start selling oil again, they can start selling petrochemicals. I mean, this war from day one has been a disaster for Donald Trump, an absolute disaster. And that is the only reason why all of a sudden we are so close to the signing of this MOU. Because finally, the White House recognized what everyone else already knew, which was this is a very poor decision that you made walking into this war, walking into a trap. This is a trap that the Israeli intelligence agencies have been trying to set up for U.S. presidents for at least the past 30 years, if not more. And one after the other, they saw through it. In one way or another, they saw through it until Donald Trump. Until Donald Trump have to do with detailed AI analysis. Could have made a major revelation there.
The other point, Steve, is I think a club like this is just basically a hookup club. I mean, that's what half the people are going there for. And I kind of think that's what his oyster farm too is, so he can take the Tinder girls out on the oyster farm and say, Oh, look at me, my man of the ocean. You already know his profile photo must have had salty photos of him out on the boat. And,
this
a lot of these
guy.
forwards. Yeah, he was a very corny guy.
There is no question. We are dealing with like a world-class horn dog. I want to know what's his total body count going to be up to by the time of the general
when he's
election.
in DC. You're right.
Yeah,
DC notorious for keeping you with the straight and narrow.
If there's ever been a Kremlin mark, it's the guy who just like cannot keep it in his pants. Like a burglar comes into his house, he's going to rape him, not in a gay way. He's like, everything for this guy is about sex, and I think, what are we up to now?
It's strange, isn't it, with a lot of these people?
That presumably they,
even the Bible, it's all about sex.
Anybody's
What
lifestyle
the
choices,
fuck is the matter with you people?
They have slept with
Everything is really all in the limelight about people's looks and who they think, who's rubbing elbows with. That's what we were trying to tell them way back, how sick these fucking people are, our own fucking siblings.
Way more than that. I'm pretty sure what happened
they got a lot of backing, their friends that are cops.
Cheating on their significant
right, they're
others.
friends with Jeremy Green.
So they were hooking up with each other.
Right,
while
and when
both
you look
cheating on
at
their significant
one of the
others. I'm pretty
connections
sure.
there,
Then they
Jeremy
got
Green
not together
and
for years,
how
and then
him
they
and
came
Bob
back
are
together.
related.
And
The
then,
father of my
I'm
oldest
totally
two.
making this up and speculating.
Right, and
but
that sick
see a
motherfucker,
situation,
I mean,
like, oh, we're both cheating, but, I'm the one
there
for
was
you,
never a
you're the
love
one for
story
me, we found each other, and
with
then
him
Grandpa
or
went ahead and
Mike.
cheated
When
on
people
her
start to see
with,
that.
at least sex
Or the
her,
guy in
but
Canada. I know they
presume
think I was in
cheating
love
too.
with him too.
Sex
Isn't
about
that funny?
really the intention
So
of
yeah,
being out
Bob
with
was one of the ones
So,
way back.
and then that
And that's
led
why
to
a
the
lot of
marriage
people, I
counseling.
think, and
See,
others
you and I haven't had a
like
chance to talk
probation
about this, but I
officers
think
and
this might
doctors.
require a phone call.
Very
The first
concerned about
conversation
that
I ever had
because
with
he was,
Graham
one of the ones
told
he
me
brought
he was
me
a
up
World
north.
II
He was the one that
history
left
expert.
me up at that
He was
restaurant.
very good friends with the former editor of the Main Wire. So I'm just asking, maybe pick up the phone.
We were at Whitefield.
So, were they both
former editor of the Main Wire?
My dad's
the man who had Tom's job before Tom had his job.
Yeah, I
They were
don't
all
know.
friends in Washington.
Two big guys
We
in a
might need
green
to
truck.
place a phone call or two and say,
Well,
hey,
the
do you
people
ever
that
close a
worked
bar
at the
with this guy?
restaurant, dumb sick
I think
cunts like my sisters, dumb fucking nasty people that don't give a shit or have any regard for other people's safety or lives. All they care about is their fucking reputations and looks. They're nasty fucking people, dude. Rub some snail cum on your face, you sick fucking nasty cunts. Oh wait, you already have.
They went to college together though, right? Or no?
No.
No? Okay.
It was when he was going to college at GW. Was
What
when
can you
he
do?
overlapped, down
What can you
there.
fucking do, right? Right, so in 2009, 10, and 11, when a lot of people were jumping on board with getting the Karen and the non-vaxxer and the bully, the non-vaxxing fear, now that was coming a lot from the druggies and the junkies and the pieces of shit. Yeah, like some of the workers that worked for the guy that was one of my brother's drug buddies that bought this place in 2009 around the time Chris shot himself. Yeah, so he was talking about the Mayan drug trafficking line and then Orion. And then earlier you were listening to those detectives talk about the Pisces stuff. Yeah, they have different labels for different groups. It's almost like a disease. So when someone says malaria, you know that's an infection that was transmitted by what? Right, so if someone says Lyme disease, you know, if someone says mad cow disease, I mean, do we really gotta keep doing this, folks? It's not that hard to understand. Right, no, it's okay. We'll keep doing it for the locals here. I know all you guys understand. Mr. Feddersen, Shattuck, Robinson, Graham. A quartet of lovely gentlemen here from our great state of Maine. Remember Feddersen? He was down in front of the Kennedy Center yesterday.
Who are the
It's
people
interesting.
that
Did you
own
see?
Graham Plattner?
I mean, they
Because
kind of
somebody owns
pointed out
Graham
some of the
Plattner, and
homeless
it's not
people.
himself. And there's
Alexa
a video that went
Volume 3.
viral of the two socialist people
Right,
talking
there was
about
Alexa
how they recruited him, the
Volume
guy with
2.
the vocal fry and the Asian
There was that guy
lady.
sitting there,
They
the
were
hoodie,
allegedly
yeah.
that Graham Plattner, before Graham Plattner, was going to be some union head who said he didn't want to do it.
Yeah, and he kind of got up to talk to him.
Culture ad, and he's got the same exact team that was posting
You sent
the
it.
lieutenant
Yeah, you
governors,
sensed a
the
little
Democrat
bit of
lieutenant
friction
governors
there.
Twitter
Almost right
page
away.
accidentally posted a graphic to Grant Plattner's Twitter
Right,
page.
and then
the
the guy
entire
he
thing is
ended
just
up saying, "Well, I'm
national
actually a
AstroTurf,
journalist," and
like Bernie
ended
Sanders
up.
connected network, and there's got to be deeper donors at play, and I think
Yeah.
like the connection
Now
to
we get another
the
story
Brazilian
popping up
president
here.
is
One
maybe something that should
second.
be totally overlooked because he's a socialist and he actively kind of hates.
Yeah, 1 second. Gotta love those, huh? Right, so people already know this. A lot of the investigators that have worked with us since we were kids. David Wilcock is one. 97. 97. How old were you in 97? Do you know how old we were in 97? Do you have any idea? In 1997, we were 15 years old. Welcome to the show. Well, he vaporized himself, but I think he left behind some cassette tapes. You want to put both feet on the floor? Okay, we're going to do a meditation. Father, Mother, God. Father, Mother, God. Oh, man.
There are great...
What can you do,
He
huh?
lives at 13045 Farmington Trail in Seminole. This is really a very difficult case.
Yeah.
It involves the trail of the trust.
This is as high as this one's going to go. Some of them have it on very low for it's their app or whatever.
And those are children who have been abused, abandoned.
These are child porn charges on an adoptive parent. It looks like they made an arrest in Tampa Bay.
Whether it's foster parents,
Yeah, some of these, you can't even. And when we know what we already witnessed ourselves, the fucking sick fucking abuse to our children. And the little boy he fucking beat up in a tub. Thank goodness that mother didn't have a bunch of fucking retarded drug addicts around her, nasty fucking entitled, selfish cunts. I know, and it's amazing, and the fucking people they think they're working with, we sent them their way. Those are the same fucking people they tried to call terrorists that we were talking to. Those are the same fucking people they tried to set up. Trying to see if she'll marry you. Right? The fucking games these state workers and our own family members are playing with these sick fucks. It's time for people around here to wake the fuck up and help those kids. It's not a fucking joke. Folks, locals here in Augusta, Maine who live at the Governor Hill Mansion, if you live or work in or around this building, I'd wake the fuck up if I were you. It's not a fucking joke. Help those fucking kids. The abuser's name is Michael Scott Garand, and he was born in
Here's what led to the arrest of John Bauer today on child pornography and animal bestiality charges. On May 12, 2026, we received a cyber tip from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children that a person was communicating on an app called Kick and disclosing through communications with others that he was sexually abusing his 7-year-old son. The person doing that communication was identified as John Bauer, who works next to us, and that's who we arrested today. Kick has been identified in numerous investigations as a platform where child sex offenders exchange child pornography and share their sexual escapades. Bauer communicated via Kick with 3 separate people on 3 separate occasions in late April and early May this year. In each of these conversations, Bauer described to the other people the sex acts that he was engaged in with his son and other people. Bauer's statements about his son and other
nasty
children
fucking people.
Bauer made one statement about his son that, and I quote,
Oh, it's so fucking sick, dude, you know?
That was one of them.
They're going to arrest him, right?
It would be an open investigation.
I don't know why you're trying to argue with me. If he's done something wrong.
Yeah, when you have fucking retarded people, we have a trifecta around here of fucking retarded people. Retarded, entitled, and money. A trifecta. And these fucking drug addicts, it's like a drug mind. They think because they're all in on it together, or they all agree that we're fucking crazy or dangerous. They think just because they all fucking agree, or they all believe in ghosts or aliens, or whatever the fuck it is, they're fucking bullshit. They think just because they're all in agreement in some of these cases and communities that they're in the right. And it's fucking sick, and we've seen this a lot in these different communities where these fucking people and druggies gang up on people, and they think it's fucking okay. Just because they're all fucking licking each other's assholes and patting each other on the back. It's a drug mentality mindset. They just drag others down with them, and they think because there's so many of them and everyone around them is doing the same fucking thing that it's okay and they're not a bad person. You sick fucks. Proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine need to wake the fuck up and help these kids because these locals don't fucking care. They don't fucking give a shit. Hopefully they're hearing these words and something clicks and they at least wake the fuck up. And they know it in their hearts. I want them to know the fucking truth in their hearts, and I hope it fucking kills them. You sick fucks. We're going to go to our next class. Probably reading and music. Yeah, nobody wants to listen to this. Anger and profanity. How horrible. Yeah, let's go to music class. I'm good, thanks. How are you? We're having an afternoon coffee. What's up? Fuckity fuck fuck fuck. Yeah, there's a new place that's going to be opened. It's called Fuckas. Coming to a place near you. I can't wait. I'm very excited. It serves a great potato dish, among other things. It's in the works. It's called Fuckas. Yes, it is. It's a potato dish. Look it up. Fucka.
Nobody wants to die. There's rules just apply. I'm ready to go, partner. Hey, I'm on the run. The devil's hugging on my boots. That's why I'm on the gun. This journey's too long. I want some answers. So much time stressing.
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I fear no man. You know what?
Yeah. No, we haven't colored that one too much more. We didn't color this one too much more. We started some other ones though. You like the word of the day? Very cool, huh? We got some good ones. You're welcome. We'll do some stretches.
I'm just trying to survive, and if the time comes, I ain't trying to die. I'm just trying to fly and get a little love. Find me a dime piece and get a little hug. Hook the car up, hit the bar up, clean the stars up. Hey yo, the stars up. Hey, this is the life of an outlaw. We ain't promised tomorrow. I'm living now, dog. I'm walking through life, but yo, my feet hurt. All my blessings are fair. Man, I rest when I'm dead. Look into my eyes.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, this is the one that got stuck into the playground. So you can see it's bigger than the other one. You see the difference? It's not gout. And if there is fluid there, it's clear. It's not an infection. That's what gout is. It's fluid that's an infection. Some people just get fluid because you have a sprain or it's protecting something. They actually had done, I can't remember which one they did a surgery on. Did they do surgery on that one? Yeah, and it didn't help. Yeah, it was my left knee and my right foot. So as you can see, yeah, I think it made it bigger, actually. Yeah, they did surgery on it. You can see the little slice. What year was that? Oh gosh. I think the foot surgery was 2012. Was it 2012, something like that? I love this bar. This one is the 18-pound one because you can set it down on your knees, so it kind of gives you a little extra stretch, and you can roll it down to your thighs. So you're giving yourself a tissue massage and stretching at the same time. Let it sit down around my, like right at this part of my. I'm just gonna let it sit there for a second. Squishing my toes. I'm gonna roll it back on my leg. Get in there, get fluid on your knees. Sometimes sometimes. This is great for that. You just hold it for a second. That works really good too. Now you want to be careful doing this. This is not for beginners. So you want to put it, this is 18 pounds, yeah, so you want to be careful. And put that back. And you can use your hands to pick up on it if it's too much weight. And it's really good. Help with these stretches. And it gets into those areas, yeah, you know, like acupressure and stuff. Exactly, yeah. It's great to do, yeah, that too. Yeah, we do that. I love this time of day when the sun comes through. I know, I like, because it kind of holds you, yeah? You want to be careful. Now I'm a mix between a realist and a dreamer. I drive a piece of shit, but I'm still dreaming of I know, I'm working on it. Like I was an abandoned building. Walking a tightrope in this world, trying to provide for my children. This world's in recession, bringing me to depression. So meet me at the studio for a 3-hour session to release some aggression. The microphone's a healer. Music on my weapons, and I am the killer. If music were drugs, then I'd be the dealer. If my rhymes were sirloins, I'd be the griller, the chiller. A savvy long enough, it's time to lash out. What's that? Yeah, you might hear a little cracking and stuff. You want to, yeah, it's okay, that's normal. Well, you might have a snap, a crackle, or a pop. It's good to learn the difference and kind of your own sounds and what do they call that? Your not threshold, but yeah, it's good to know that too. Everyone has different thresholds, which might change. Yeah, of course, like a tolerance, like when you first start out, like, wow, I could only do 5 of those. I could barely do 1. Right, and then all of a sudden you're doing 5, 10, 15, however many.
The pressure, the pain of an icon. The only time my soul breathes easy is when my mic is on. Speaking truth over beats.
I was just sitting on it. I was pulling down my back and annoying him.
My infrastructure, pessimistic through history. Once conceived, 9 months of mystery. Proof for birth, 4 different certificates, different dates, 4 different bodies, same face. My eyes see you with breach, belief was a reach. My mom's bled for safety, married to a leech. My confidence was shut down.
Right, so if you were to come ask us and you say, look, some people are concerned, sometimes you get a little loud. People do that sometimes, I know, whether they're singing or expressing themselves. Do you want to tell us maybe what noises they might be concerned about? Yeah, sometimes I hear me yelling and the profanity. I don't know how it's any different than anyone else. I mean, sometimes, you know, whatever, people can be playing games or listening to stuff on YouTube or on TV or a movie. I don't really see the difference. I think it's the subject matter, because I'm talking about crimes they're protecting and committing, and there's some really sick shit going on, and they don't want to acknowledge that. Yeah, I think that's what the problem is. I'll try to keep it down. I know exactly what it is, actually. Yeah, we have social media groups, and we do emotional therapy classes. And sometimes when we're in those classes, or even just responding, sometimes in different live chats, yeah, we can sometimes yell when we're expressing ourselves. I mean, it's not really in a violent way, or directed at anybody here, that's for sure. Yeah, it's kind of just like talking to ourselves or in our classes. Yeah. Yeah, we're not yelling at anybody here. In fact, we don't even expect them to smack the sick motherfucker on the wrist who's been fucking torturing our children and tried to kill us. Yeah, no, we just want the hostages to get help and for the proper authorities to educate the public about that handful of stuff we've been talking about. I know if I start rambling on about vaccines and this and that, I mean, you're not going to listen to that. I know it's not your job, right? Exactly. And I'm so sorry that a lot of people have put that on you, and you guys have been getting called on a lot of domestics and people concerned about non-vaxxers and those going off about conspiracy theories. I know, and a lot of police officers have been ambushed that way, so hopefully the proper authorities start addressing these things, because we're really sick and tired of seeing innocent people get killed and ambushed ourselves. You know, the suicides, the overdoses, the freak accidents, you know. Yep. And some's direct targeting, some's random, some is just, you know, they need clicks. We need some exciting news. It would be great. It would be great for the movie, huh? Yeah, right? Thank goodness, you know. Can't get them all, right? Yeah, and in these kind of cases, you know, shaming them just gets our children tortured more, probably. So that's usually what happens in a lot of the cases. Yeah, they don't get to respond to it in public. They ignore it. They know it's best to not respond to it and try to make those people angry and get restraining orders on those people and get people bulldogging for them for other reasons. That's why they pick the retards who people already have fucking hate and fear prop towards them. Yeah, so we've been telling you that for years. I hope so. So yeah, they feed the child and animal abuse and pornography out to these channels and investigators. It's crossed a lot of wires over the years. Yeah, I think a lot of people all throughout the different systems would really like to get those punks exposed. I mean, they already have been in a lot of ways, right? And it's just a matter of helping the hostages, like people already know. Whether or not some of the locals and people protecting the sick fucks don't want to believe it, we know, and a lot of other people know, and it's just a matter of helping the hostages. I could care less if they even smack them on the wrist, but we apologize. We will keep it down. You're welcome. Yes, thank you. Exactly. All right. What, for this? Oh, yeah. No, we don't really spin it too much. It is good to do that, though. It's good for a good workout. Pick up your cardio real quick. Yeah, just doing this. So, yeah, your arms are pushing down on your legs, so it's giving you an extra little bit of a stretch. Just holding it straight like this. I'm slouching a lot. Keep it straight back. Let it roll back on your wrists. Let it roll down into your palms. Yeah, you feel a difference where it's kind of engaging. Yeah, all throughout the spine and everything.
I know I'm ready for the leap.
Just doing that and then doing small, letting it stretch down like that.
Just a short slip away from being belly on the streets, hard scramble over grits, jelly on the wheat, unabashed with a drive to keep our family on our feet, hard work raising youngins in the belly of the beast, to be sitting around the table getting ready.
I love this. I think it feels really good in my shoulders.
But we still got a long road to hoe on the road. So what gets sold gets the water to grow. And the sunlight to get the harvest ready to show. So it goes, you know, whatever served on the menu.
Anyways, any other questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions as to how we can get the public and locals and people to actually address the facts and concerns and help the hostages, that would be great. That's kind of what we've been doing for years, even before our own children were being fucked and tortured, and a lot of the Mies have already been killed. Yeah, so us and them from the great beyond are saying, please, people, citizens who want your rights. Pretty sure you got them. I'm not sure what rights you're talking about. Yeah, it's old, and I can't believe it's gone on for years, and the media still even engages or pays any attention to it. But yet don't give certain individuals, as long as they don't get any attention and we don't get fooled again by some melty little brat that's going to end up on a billboard rapping a song. Right, Dr. Phil? They just use that as an excuse. I know, anything but acknowledging what we're talking about. You know exactly. Do you need me to go through the handful of things? Okay, so the issues with vaccines, the overprescribing of SSRIs, our children being fucked and tortured, and the child and animal pornography they feed out to the investigators and activists, and how that's connected to a lot of you people, news networks, content creators. They know that, and the ones who know are kind of doing the best they can. All the way up to Elon Musk going to Mars. You got ghost and alien hunters. Hey, David Wilcock. Father, Mother, God. Yeah? I can do a quick one. Yeah, we made a hazelnut coffee. It's really good. Of course. I wanna ride with you. Yeah, just a real quick one. Yeah, my voice. I've been reading a lot today, and I don't want my coffee to get too cold, you know? It is really nice. So, writers of modern England, early days in America, you got it. Any specific page number? .244. Okay. .244, right on John Quincy Adams. Right on John Quincy Adams. The chief distinction in character between John Adams and his son is the strangest one imaginable. When one remembers that to the fiery, combative, bristling Adam's blood was added an equal strain from the gay, genial, affectionate Abigail Smith. The son, though of deep inner affections, and even hungering for good, goodwill if it would come without his help, was on the surface incomparably colder, harsher, and thornier than his father, with all the socially repellent traits of the race and none of the softer ones. The father could never control his tongue or his temper, and not always his head. The son never lost the bridle of either, and much of his terrible power and debate came from his ability to make others lose theirs while perfectly keeping his own. The father had plenty of warm friends and allies. At the worst, he worked with half a party. The son, in the most superb part of his career, had no friends, no allies, no party, except the group of constitutes who kept him in Congress. The father's self-confidence depended in the son to a solitary and even contemptuous gladiatorship against the entire government of the country. For long years of hate and peril, the father's irritable, though generous vanity changed in the son to an icy contempt of white hot scorn of nearly all around him. Doesn't really make sense. The father's spasms of acrimonious judgment steadied in the son to a constant rancor, always finding new objects. But only John Quincy Adams could have done the work awaiting John Quincy Adams, and each of his unamiable qualities strengthened his fiber to do it. And if a man is to be judged by his fruits, Mr. Morse is justified in saying that he was not only preeminent in ability and acquirements, but even more to be honored for profound immutability, honesty of purpose, and broad, noble humanity of aims. It might also be said that the 6th President of the United States was cradled in statesmanship. Born July 11th, 1767, he was a little lad of 10 when he accompanied his father on the French mission. 18 months elapsed, our 6th President, John Quincy Adams, 18 months elapsed before he returned, and 3 months later he was again upon the water, bound once more for the French capital. There were school days in Paris and other school days in Amsterdam and the Leiden, but the boy was only 14, the mature old child, when he went to St. Petersburg as private secretary. At only 14 years old, went off to St. Petersburg as private secretary and interpreter to Francis Dana, just appointed minister plenipotentiary, okay, weird word, plenipotentiary, plenipotentiary, yeah, okay, plenipotentiary, I want to say it fast, plenipotentiary to the court of the Empress Catherine. Such was the apprenticeship to the public career, which began in earnest in 1794 and lasted with slight interruptions for 54 years. For 54 years. Minister to the United Netherlands, to Russia, to Prussia, and to England, commissioner to a frame and Treaty of Ghent, which ended the War of 1812, state senator, United States senator, Secretary of State, a position in which he made the treaty with Spain, which conceded Florida and enunciated the Monroe Doctrine before Monroe, and far more thoroughly than he, President, and then for many years member of the National House of Representatives. It is strange to find this man writing in his later years. My whole life has been a succession of disappointments. I can scarcely recollect a single instance of success to anything that I ever undertook. It is true, however, that his success and even his glories always had some bitter ingredient to spoil their flavor. As United States Senator, he was practically boycotted for years, even by his own party members, because he was an Adams. In 1807, he definitely broke with the Federalist Party for what he regarded as its slavish, crouching under English outrages, conduct which had been for years strangling him by supporting Jefferson's embargo, has better than no show of resistance at all, and was for a generation denounced by the New England Federalist as a renegade for the sake of office and a traitor to New England. The Massachusetts legislature practically censored him in 1808, and he resigned. His winning of the presidency brought pain instead of pleasure. It is an Adams boy named Squid. Yeah, it was one of Mike's buddies, huh? Yeah, that was the one Mike set up to buy Suboxone from me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's been arrested over the years, huh? Yeah, his family's pretty wealthy. He was over in Belgrade. Scott Adams. Yeah, Scott Adams. They called him Squid. Yeah, the other ones they called Fever and Captain, scattered. One went to Colorado, huh? One went to way up north, yeah. Their real names are, Justin Bedard and Scott Kluge. Yeah, takes me a minute sometimes. Sorry. Not that I'm lying, you can fact check me, that's the truth. But yeah, when there's so much information and you want specific facts, it might take someone a second to think about that. And we see how you jump right on big people. Oh, if they're lying! If they can't answer it right off the tip of their tongue. But yet somebody else will sit there for 5 fucking minutes and twiddle their thumb. And if someone says, is this going to take all fucking day? You give them time. Don't you be disrespectful. You give them time to answer a question. You shut the fuck up. The proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine need to wake the fuck up and help these kids. Do you understand? Oh, I'm sorry. We got loud again. I apologize. Someone might have heard that. We don't want it disorderly now. If they come and ask, don't worry. We'll tell them why. And then we can sigh. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Yep, that's it for the night for those classes. Yeah, it's a little bit too much, yeah. Yeah, we know. See how we're aware of that? Cheers. Okay. If you have any other questions, comments, concerns, suggestions. You're welcome. Yes, thank you. I know, I like rolling my feet on it. I'll stand on it like this. You gotta be careful though if you don't want to roll, smash your face, you know. It's not a good thing to show the kids. You don't want to give them any ideas.
Bled and died for this. What we ain't gonna do.
It's really great for acupressure for your feet. Turn them to the side. No, you just want to be really careful. You don't want to go too fast. And if you do, you want to make sure you have a good secure hold on something so you don't smash your face or something. Thank you.